champ, put him in a tag team match, and it's going to be a lot of trouble.
Hello and good day to everybody out there, man. Not quite a Saudi mania, but the WWE was back in Saudi Arabia for Night of Champions. And of course, you know, you probably want to have a conversation about that. And if you're here, you want to have a conversation about it like nobody else in the world. So, man, it's summertime. I got a hoodie on, but I'm enduring the AC. You dig what I'm saying? But let's get ready for the first Black Champ podcast. And I am still your podcast, Intercontinental Champion, Cam from the Port.
And I am JR Bang. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download, wherever you get your favorite podcast. Barbershop Network is the home as I get my grapes set up and that thing, because I got to
watch the grapes, buddy. I remember that conversation we had. Watch the grapes, my brother.
I be burning them though. That's be burning them. Make sure you follow us on everything, the FBC POD. Make sure you grab that merch. You see Cam got on the hoodie, but he inside with air conditioner, so that's how that works. Go ahead and get that merch. And look, we got a great show planned for y'all today because we are officially on the road to SummerSlam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And there is absolutely a road to SummerSlam now. It's wild how the game just changes.
Right. I kept hearing that yesterday, and I was just like, we are on the road to SummerSlam. What does the road to SummerSlam looks like? We got Saturday night's main event coming. NXT got Great American Bash coming. The ladies are back with Evolution. So you got that there too. And then you got SummerSlam 2 nights in New York. But what should that look like? How should we plan?
Man, so honestly, and I hate to go to some low-hanging fruit type stuff, but this is, to me, WrestleMania Part 2 now. You know what I'm saying? And I guess for good reason, because for a lot of years, I don't want to put a definite time frame on it, but in a way, SummerSlam has been that midpoint to just game-changing wrestling, whether it's game-changing storyline, game-changing title change, debuts, the summertime and SummerSlam have been very groundbreaking for the WWE. Specifically. So I'm looking at this hey, look, we are in the quote mid-season of the wrestling year. And in the mid-season, this is the all-star break. So now we about to really ramp up. So for me, especially when you're booking it, it's 2 nights in New York, double main event. You already know you're going to have Cena there. We walked into this thinking that your world title match was either going to involve Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, or CM Punk. That was the 4 names that we knew one of these nights, and most likely is going to be the second night. Because look who we're talking about. We were going to get something that is WrestleMania worthy. So for me, I'm going to buy into the marketing, bang. I'm going to buy into the marketing. Okay, this is WrestleMania 1.5. this is the all-star break of wrestling, and I'm supposed to look at this oh man, now we about to really kick up after we get past SummerSlam.
We're on the same page here. I was sitting there watching. I watched it while I was at my uncle's crib, and rewatched it this morning just to listen to how much they reiterate that this is the road to WrestleMania. And I was like, all right, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I didn't like is you're giving us the same story that you got at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But I got some questions.
Okay.
I got some questions about that and what is particularly going to happen. But starting things off with the King of the Ring, the first match of the night, King of the Ring, Cody Rhodes defeated Randy Orton.
What a shocker.
Like, it's not a shocker. And it wasn't even a shocker on kind of like how. But it was twinges of heel turn. It was twinges of heel Cody.
Absolutely.
Even with the crowd more into Randall Keith than they were into Cody Devontae. Now, Cody Rhodes was at Fanatics Fest. And he was talking to Kay Adams. Shouts out to Kay Adams, Chicago's own. Whitney Young graduate. I won't hold that against her. Only because they didn't let me into the school. And he told Kay that he's at the tail end of his face run. On camera.
Wow.
Mic in hand. He's at the tail end. So we're going to get into possibilities, but I want to lead, just drop that thought right there. But it was something that Cody Rhodes did not do at the end of the match to me that has me questioning things a bit more than what may potentially happen at SummerSlam. He ain't put on the crown. And if you even look at his face right here, kind of look disinterested in this crown. Like,
no, for sure.
What are we doing this for? But it's the King of the Ring.
Yeah.
What's the point of King of the Ring if you're not going to put on the crown?
Yeah, exactly. And with Cody, if this is the tail end of his face run, at the height of his face run, he would have been like, this is the crown that was worn by people like Bret Hart, Don Morocco, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And now I get the privilege of donning this crown. And he was like, but none of that happened last night. And that was interesting. That was interesting. And also him feeling that he had to put over Randy Orton. Like, that was interesting. It came off like, yeah, you know what? But I wouldn't have got here without beating his ass, though. So, shout to him. Shout the dude on the ramp. That's hurt. Right.
Randy just was like,
yeah, you're like, okay. Word. That's what it is? Okay.
All right. I was sitting there. I was just like, so he ain't going to put on the crown. He looked like he's disinterested. I'm wrestling Cena or Punk. I know we put the C's on the Punk thing saying this eventually got to happen. And then you got the Cena thing, which he took the belt from me in the first place. But then I also got to thinking, we knew this was going to happen. We knew it was going to be Cody versus Cena. Once we saw everything lined up, we might made other predictions. But some of those is more predictions of hope, not predictions of, this shit gonna happen. Yeah. Why did we need the King of the Ring to solidify Cody Rhodes versus John Cena?
Well, if you're looking for an answer from me, it's to eliminate all that final boss talk that happened in the first quarter. See, again, I'll buy into the marketing. Okay. Hey, listen. I see what y'all doing. Where Vince McMahon would be like, nah, Men in Black. That never happened. That never happened. Or we're gonna do this for the first time, like they did Triple H versus Undertaker. Oh yeah, no, they've never met at WrestleMania. Yes, they have. Yeah, they have. I watched it. It ended in the stands.
Yeah.
But Vince McMahon said, Men in Black. But then Triple H was like, Mom, they're not that stupid. Okay, I'm gonna beat them this time though. I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. But this is like, okay, we hear y'all IWC. We hear y'all First Black Champ podcast. Rock messed this up, didn't he? It wasn't supposed to go this way, right? Okay, we'll bet. Well, look, how about we just redo this? and we have Cody win something that makes him eligible to get to the title without us just saying, hey, you know what? We're just going to book you two again. And hey, look, cool. I'll buy into the marketing. Y'all got it. Because much like you, Bang, once I seen the crowd huddle up, I was like, oh, yeah, Cena definitely winning. I was like, Cena definitely winning. I mean, that was my pick anyway, I believe. I was like, but he definitely winning now because they're going to do Cody, Cena 2 for the title without Travis Scott, without the final boss of The Rock, in New York, bigger market than where they did it the last time. Okay, cool. Let's go. MetLife, let's go. I'm here.
I'll tell you my guarantee later.
Okay.
I'll tell you my guarantee later. But we'll see what happened. But I just don't like this whole thing about not wearing the ring or not wearing the crown and everything. It's I didn't like it when Brock Lesnar didn't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it when others didn't do it either. I'm of the belief that the King of the Ring is just as much as a championship as the Intercontinental and United States Championship.
For sure. And the greats, the true greats, lived it as such. I mean, hey, look, even though Bret Hart got stomped out and duffed out immediately by Jerry Lawler, I appreciated the fact that he put the cape on, he put the crown on, he held the scepter, he played to the crowd, and then got his ass beat. I'm like, that's fine with me. You know what I'm saying? I think, I mean, hey, there were some other kings that wore the crown. I mean, obviously King Booker stands to mind. I think that gave Booker T's career a whole new angle that made us respectfully forget G.I. Bro forever, if you really want to talk about his highlights. So yeah, I don't like we're having kings not playing into the gimmick or the character, if you will. I'm sorry, real quick. Another thing that Cody did last night that kind of threw me. Well, yesterday afternoon for us. Talking about Jey Uso, a character. And he one of the most beloved characters in the business. And he calling people characters. I was like, oh, wait. I was like, yo, wait, I don't like your language, bro. But go ahead.
Hey, and I'm not saying that you got to be full-on King Booker. I ain't saying that.
Right.
But Bret Hart did that, got beat up for it. Owen Hart wore it that night. Like
the King of Hearts, Owen Hart. Come on, man.
Right, yeah. If you're not going to do that, you need to do a Stone Cold Steve Austin 316 type promo.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not going to give me that, you got to give me one or the other.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what it is for me. Like the first couple of ones didn't rock the damn shit all night long.
Right.
Or all year long, but you didn't have to get inserted into world championship type conversations because it was treated as his own thing. And that's what I'm talking about.
The other great point you're making with that is that the reason why I respect Stone Cold not wearing the crown or anything like that is because he didn't wear anything. He didn't wear his belts. He didn't he never wore the crown. He was just like, look, yeah, I want it, cool. And like, but he carried it around like it was a 6-pack. So
right,
his whole thing was, well, I'm anti-establishment, so that's fine. Yeah, I'm not wearing your crown. I don't want to wear your belt. I don't want to do none of that. and that's cool. But you know, it was also an aspect of where he won the crowd over during the tournament. Like he came in there. I don't think if you go back and look at the 96 King of the Ring, I don't think we really thought he was going to win. Or that if that was even just like the sentimental crowd favorite.
No, it was Jake Roberts.
Yeah.
Like Jake Roberts was the sentimental crowd favorite. He got squashed.
Yeah. But even in that, I forget now. because we're not talking about 96, we're talking about 2025. There was somebody else in that tournament. People were like, I felt like people were high on besides the whole Jake Roberts redemption story. And, you know, I've beat addiction and now I'm back to wrestling and all this. Like, so yeah, that was it. But I feel like somebody else in that tournament we had above the ringmaster recently turned Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, but he wins that crowd over during that day. So I say that's even a greater reason to not wear the crown. It's like, y'all didn't even pick me for this. Like, the crowd didn't pick me. I don't think that y'all were quite in on this, but something happened here. And so now we're making a hard pivot. But yeah, everybody else, it was kind of set in stone. Like, even when Triple H was supposed to and then didn't, but then the wins later, it's like, yeah, no, put the crown
Matter of fact,
on.
I think that's who was supposed to win that year.
Oh, 96.
I think it was actually Triple H that was supposed to win that year.
Look at the first Black Camp podcast, man. Look at us.
Because I was about to say, where's Brendo Tanay so he can let us know. I think you said it. I think you said enough here when you said anti-establishment, and this is why not rocking the crown looked weird for me. Stone Cold is anti-establishment. Cody Rhodes is the establishment.
Mm-hmm.
He is the one that's supposed to do it for the company. He didn't. But also, the way that he looked at that crown, the way that he lifted up both times he did it, he looked unhappy in winning that shit. Maybe he just got his game face on. Now, I know I'm about to wrestle Cena.
Mm-hmm.
But Cody Rhodes didn't look like he was interested in winning that shit at all. He just was like, I'm happy to get this shit over with. Let's go to the road to SummerSlam.
Right.
So there's that piece.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to, I did not know that they had a name for this match until they said it last night.
Yeah.
What was it? What was it called? The Boulevard Street Fight?
Yeah.
The Riyadh Boulevard Street Fight? I did not know they had a street name. And I did not know they had a boulevard.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. You can't do any of this on the streets of Saudi Arabia, and you definitely can't be a woman doing it. Yo, hey, look, I get what y'all tried to do, but that was so culturally inappropriate. Hey, respect, because we don't talk about the match, but yeah, hey, just off the billing alone, it's like, nah, man, you can't. They're not letting women do this outside, and you definitely can't. This is one of them countries like Singapore. You can't even spit on the sidewalk out there, can you?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so no, this ain't no Boulevard Street Fight. You know what I'm saying? Hey, quit calling these matches street fights. Hey, look, these are glorified no disqualification matches.
Hey, y'all already know my thoughts about this. And they can't do this. They can't do this there either. If you go up in there with ring gear, there's no reason for you to call this a street fight.
Right.
They had to be covered all the way up. So unless they were going to be covered all the way up in Arab garb, you're right. Man. Also, to your point, if you're not going to risk assault charges that's going to put you in jail for 15 years or some other inhumane shit, don't call it a street fight. Man,
come on. You dig?
Call it no disqualification, no count out match.
Yeah. Like, man, because that's literally what this was. It's like, man, hey, look, we wrestling fans, just call it, no DQ, no count out. There must be a winner. Cool.
That's it.
But you ain't have no street fight in Saudi Arabia. Come on.
And also, and I'm glad that Donnie touched on this. I touched on this last year. I've been touching on this the last couple of years. Saudi Arabia ain't slick.
Mm-hmm.
Saudi Arabia ain't slick. They freakmen.
For sure. They
freakmen. Because they get more out of the women in these bodysuits than they would showing thigh meat. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I'm saying. Like, you don't mean to tell, look, everybody in the world love Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
You think her wearing this bodysuit is for? Come on, they like that even more. There's some people that's probably like, well, you just make that your everyday ring attire.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia ain't slick. They ain't slick as hell. If
Yeah,
they
listen, after Saudi Mania 1, I think it was, or 2, when Natty came out there in that 3X T on, they was like, nah, we just gonna rock the bodysuits. We get
right.
It. We get it.
That man. That's what.
We get it.
They had Natty and Army Girl rocking long sleeve 3X tall shirts. Now we can wear bodysuits.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying, don't do it. I'm saying y'all ain't slick.
Yeah. Not at all.
Even on SmackDown, did you see what Rhea Ripley wore on SmackDown?
Man, listen.
Nah, you can't.
Come on now. Hey, Tiffany got off.
Man,
how they let Tiffany out the curtain? How they let her out?
I know a freak man when I see one. Saudi Arabia, y'all ain't that, it's a hard leg event.
Yeah. Sausage mania, Russ. Yep.
Yeah. Oh man, there you go. Yeah. You can't tell me, hey, y'all freak men. Now, as far as the match goes, Roxanne Perez comes out there to help Raquel Rodriguez. So it looks like she's probably going to take that tag team title away from Liv for a little bit. We'll see what happens when Liv gets back. Do they dump her out of the Judgment Day? Is there a Judgment Day, or do they say, Roxanne, thank you, but get your ass up out of here? You know what I'm saying? One of the three. But also Dominik Mysterio is, I guess, apparently dealing with a rib cage injury. So that match got removed. So it gave it time to do this. What did you think about this match?
Man, so this match, got to give a lot of props to Raquel. This is what she got signed for. Let me say that first. She got signed for that night. I know when she made her re-debut or comeback, if you will, she kind of botched the ending of the match and yada yada, and then we didn't really get a flash of greatness at all. But I will say, and this is unfortunate, but I'm here for it. The greatest thing that happened to Raquel is possibly Liv getting injured, because low key, she's heating up, and last night was the spark. Raquel looked really good in this match, and it always helps look really good with Rhea Ripley, because now that's going to move you up into just TV time, match consideration, PLEs. So man, you want to talk about big winners of the night? I don't think anybody performance-wise won bigger than Raquel Rodriguez. I don't think anybody won bigger than her last night. Salute, respect.
Yeah, I wasn't mad at the match at all. I did like Raquel Rodriguez is showing in the match too. Everybody loves Rhea Ripley. So if you're going to be losing Dom versus AJ Styles, this is not a bad match to put in. I thought it did what it was supposed to do. Spotlighted both women in a last woman standing, or was that a Riyadh? A Riyadh, that's what it is. My bad. A Riyadh. I fucked that up, y'all, a couple of segments ago. Y'all ain't say shit. A Riyadh street fight. Y'all know how I am when it comes to some of this shit, some of this worldly shit. You know what I'm saying? A Riyadh street fight. Thank you, Donnie, for not saying shit.
Oh,
where's Brando Tanay? He could have easily just put the Re and Nash odd, but yeah. Rush, you're not a fan of nobody. Like Rush,
diarrhea, Ripley, yikes.
Rush, you are a fan of all things AEW and two people in the WWE. So we already knew. We already knew that, Russ. But nah, I thought it was a good match.
Yeah.
And everything. I agree with you to a point with the Raquel Rodriguez. They put her in the best position after this. Because the next match we're going to talk about, y'all heard me say that Y'all heard me say that Sami Zayn can have a great match with a broomstick.
Mm-hmm.
And I really thought that to be the case for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Until last night.
Oh, damn.
I don't know if I'm alone in this.
Okay.
But this was a lackluster Sami Zayn match. And it's probably the most lackluster match that I can remember from him.
Mm.
I don't know if it's Karrion Kross's fault. I don't know if it's the chemistry. I don't know if it was the short notice. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I never watched the Sami Zayn match and been bored.
Mm.
I was bored last night.
Man. So, one thing I do want to highlight before I talk about the match, because we might be in agreement here after I say what I got to say. One, I didn't know 80s rules were back in effect in this match. Because Karrion Kross won this match by 2020 rules. By this decade rules, he won the match. Since when we choking out people and we doing the 3 count for the arm? That's been gone. That's been gone. Y'all didn't do it for Gunther. That ain't how Jay won the world title at WrestleMania. Like, when we started doing that? What I thought once The Undertaker brought the triangle choke out, that we just check your arm one time. So, right. What happened to that? Right. So that's number 1. 2, I ain't gonna lie to you, Bang. I don't know if y'all watched the kickoff show. But Michael Cole kind of let me know that Karrion Kross better come out here like Shawn Michaels or it's a wrap for Buddy.
Man.
Because he was like, yeah, hey, look, all this internet shit is cool. He's like, you backstage.
He did it during the match too. He did it during the match too. Because he caught the match slow.
Yep.
And I was like, ooh.
Yep. Yeah, Michael Cole kind of let me know, like, yeah, all right, fam. You do all this crying. You talking about Logan Paul. You on these exclusive. You hit with Chris, the dude that be doing the dope wrestling podcast and all that. You talking all this shit. You talking cash shit out here. And this match better be fire. That was the word I got in the kickoff show, and they still had like an hour and a half to go. And enough for nothing, the promo that he cut, again, wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. But usually, positioning is so important. And respect to Byron Saxton. But when they sit you with Brian Saxton, that means they don't believe it. Like let's just keep it a bean. When you like, you are WWE fanfare if Byron Saxton is sitting with you. When they put Jackie out there.
Is there such thing as mid-card announcers?
Oh, officially. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, hey, Michael Cole been in the ring talking to people. Michael Cole been doing WWE exclusives. Jackie Redmond is doing backstage stuff. Byron Saxton does pre-show stuff. And he's doing first hour stuff. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but that's what be happening. And then when they had Byron Saxton, like looked like he was outside, and Karrion Kross and Scarlett pull up. So, oh damn, they really not. They have no faith in this. They have no faith in this. And it's wild because while this match is going on, and while they are talking during this intro, I was like, damn, this intro was hard. But you know what? He still lost to Jeff Hardy that first night on Raw. He still lost to Jeff Hardy that first night on Raw.
With the gladiator garb.
Yeah, you dig? So you add that with this match, which I'm going to give Sami Zayn the respect of this. Because this is where you're absolutely right. I think Sami Zayn was like, look, I'm Sami Zayn, bro. But let's make the night about you. And unfortunately, I think Sami let Karrion lead the match. And that's why we got the match we got. Because in all fairness, if they were more compatible tail of the tape wise, I think Karrion Kross would have benefited more from Sami Zayn teeing off on them and squashing them. And he just looked really good at selling versus what we got last night. But and then unfortunately, it ended like so many matches that we know they're going to end. When the aggressor in control is yelling at you moments from the storyline. They're slapping you around the corner, and then boom. And then ending, and then match over, you lose. So unfortunately, we got a 2018 match in 2025 with a guy who's made more headlines for just thinking that Logan Paul is winning off of social celebrity privilege than we did actually get a good wrestling match, or a great wrestling match, I should say.
Yeah. I was watching that match and I was just like, no. And I'm confused on what Karrion Kross is supposed to be. Is Karrion Kross supposed to be like a power guy? Is he supposed to be what is he supposed to be? Because his moves ain't powerful enough for me to think that he is like the power guy. He's not a finesser. I don't know. All I know is this. When we talk about a lot of people that probably should have stayed at NXT, it's the smaller guys. Karrion Kross is the first big wrestler, the first heavyweight, so to speak. That I'm like, man, your ass probably should have stayed down there.
Yeah, man.
And here's the thing, I love the character. Not only do I love the character, I love the character. I love the entrance. I love everything. I love everything about Karrion Kross. Till the match start.
And that's the problem. And not for nothing. Hey, listen, shout out to Michael Cole. Because Michael Cole proves that he really watch wrestling. And he not here for the bull. So for anybody in the IWC or anybody that may have thought that, you know what, Karrion Kross is right. Man, Logan Paul shouldn't be getting these kind of opportunities, or it should go to the wrestlers that have dedicated their lives to this, that, and the third. Even if you know not one damn thing about wrestling, you have your eyes. And your eyes can say, look at the last Logan Paul match and look at the latest Karrion Kross match. And you tell yourself, what would you rather see? And where would you rather see it?
I would rather see Karrion Kross and TNA.
Hey. and so and that is and that's the unfortunate reality. Hey man, look, if y'all believe in God, you know favor ain't fair. You dig? And favor ain't fair. And
story of my week.
You dig? And I don't know. I mean, hey, look, we went from being shocked that Logan Paul was that good to being like, nah, Logan Paul really got it. And we're not a show that's ever spoken illy of Logan Paul, because the work is the work. And he's obviously putting in the work. Now, just because you want to do something and just because you can talk yourself into an opportunity, it don't mean that it's going to lead to much more for you. And Michael Cole, I think, did the most respectful explanation of that last night. Hey, and salute to Jackie Redmond for being like, yo, you know what? Hey, look, I'm going to represent the 33% in the back that actually want Karrion Kross to do this. Because if he does, see, there was a lot more riding on that match than we all anticipate. Because much like the CM Punk pipe bomb 14 years ago, Karrion Kross was on that kind of run where the promo and the conversation and the people who are deserved or who have earned opportunities to be on PLEs, to be in prime spots, to be in main events. Okay, bro, you're the one talking the loudest. You're on deck. And if you do great, maybe we'll listen to you. Then maybe you can put whoever. I don't want to throw nobody else's names out because everybody been quiet. But he doesn't understand the microscope. Not only did he put himself under, but anybody else that he'll vouch for, they put you with one of the hottest and best workers in the entire industry, not just the WWE. Sami Zayn is legit. Sami Zayn is legit one of the greatest wrestlers, period. It don't matter what organization, indie, mainstream, whatever. Sami Zayn is considered, he's probably like in everybody's top 10 right now. It's just for performance and work. And for Karrion Kross not to really just capitalize off that moment, bruh, that's rough. That's rough. We might have watched the very last match of Karrion Kross on the main roster, period.
Hey, look, we'll see how the storyline go, but yeah.
Hey,
I don't think it's too much to say from that. Hey, Jacob Fatu versus Solo. And both of us picked Solo to win this match. Yes, we did it for various reasons. I said it would be a debuting person that will cost him the match. And
yep. Yep.
Tala Tonga is his name now. Tala Tonga, who is Tonga and Tama's brother, debuted. And Tonga, aka shouts out to Ross, who named him Cabacho.
Yep. Cabacho.
He was back. So between Jeff Cobb or JC Mateo, which sounds like, look, let me just say this, Triple H. You gotta do something else about my man's name. Because my man's out here sounding like a star on the soap opera.
Oh, hey, listen. He sounds like he's in a boy band.
Yeah, he sounds like that's a boy band name. That's a soap opera name. He sounds like he's debuting on Melrose Place tomorrow. Like anytime they say JC Mateo, I'm like, oh, you talking about dude that was on Beverly Hills 90210 trying to ride up on Tori Spelling?
It's like, yo, who's the new guy?
It's JC.
It's JC Mateo.
You hear about JC Mateo, and then here come Jeff Cobb, with his wet curly hair. He's from Hawaii. He's a badass. Like, yeah, he's a soap opera badass. He's not a real life badass. He's just a soap opera badass. But yeah, Tala Tonga debuted, costing Jacob Fatu the match. This can't be the bloodline, and not that the bloodline is done and over with. But I'm like, well, all these Tongans, like with all of Haku's kids, and JC Mateo and Solo, like, what are we naming this group? Like what is, like, just like we ain't got no name for Seth Rollins them group yet. This ain't no bloodline, and it's different. This is different South Pacific or Polynesian like groups.
Yeah.
You can't really name them the Booyah Tribe because you'll get shot. So it's like,
let's not do that.
What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? The Street Champs? I don't know. Like, huh?
Nah, hey, look, man, this is just transitional stardom for Solo. This is like New Jack City, right? And Solo Sikoa is Nino Brown. And around him right now is Dudderman, Christopher Williams. Because I don't want to call him pretty motherfucker, you know what I mean? But whoever that is. And just like the other two dudes that's so dope. Nobody's Keisha. Because Keisha was hard body. So nobody's Keisha.
But baby.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, to me, Solo's character needs a faction because he is killing this. By the way, I like the fact that he is like BET movie supervillain. Like it's actually funny to me. He's a BET supervillain, and I'm here for it. And this is the kind of crew that you have when you're a BET supervillain.
Hey,
you're
right. Kareem Akbar. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
pretty motherfucker.
Yeah. The educated brother from the bank. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, hey, and this is just the crew that you have. Solo's got the U.S. title, but he's presenting himself as a boss, a leader, and he need people like them that can outshine him to join his crew and do his bidding until he got to shed that layer to get to a world title himself. So that's all I look at this as. This is all that is. They are here. They don't know what. They're on a 6-month contract, maybe. I don't know. They ain't got much time, bro. Don't worry about none of this.
Look, I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing at the fact that when you think about it, Solo called Japan to get help. Simply, that's what this boiled down to. Everybody in the crew that's helping them is from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, the WWE need to strike a deal with New Japan, and they just all come back.
Yeah, hey.
And the wildest part about this is the wildest part about this whole Solo thing that has me laughing every time somebody debuts and helps him. You got AJ Styles. You got Finn Balor. You had the Good Brothers. All of them are a member of the Bullet Club.
Mm-hmm.
The founding members of the Bullet Club, though, was Finn Balor, was Anderson, that Good Brother, and the people you see here with Solo.
Yep.
So, when does Solo become an honorary member of the Bullet Club?
Hey.
Somebody, at this point, now we got to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Because the Bullet Club, when we talk about the clubs, the Bullet Club outmans Solo and Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
You got Gorillas of Destiny, they brother. Like Jeff Cobb, who was not in the Bullet Club. So it's like, I forgot what group he was in. Forgot what group he was in. I was saying, like, when does the Bullet Club or Gorillas of Destiny say to Solo, we really need you? And we hated the United Empire. When do we say to Jeff Cobb and Solo, we don't really need y'all?
Hey, well, when they get over. and that's the problem. Hey, again, hey, listen. Shout out to Solo, because after losing the tribal chief match for the Ulafala, I ain't gonna front. I thought it was over for him, especially because Jacob came out on fire and people believed instantly. I thought it was over for him, but boy, has he made one of the best transitions from the first quarter to summertime now. You're with everything that the final boss screwed up in that first quarter. Boy, did Solo Sikoa pick the ball up in his own right and make something else happen. Solo and Jay, I think, have benefited so much from the bloodline ending that it's everything else is a heat check around him at this point. Everything else is a heat check around him. But I give props to Solo because, boy, you talk about, I thought it was over for you. I ain't gonna front, bro. I was there. But you have proved me wrong. I mess with what you're doing. I see they gave you a BT supervillain stable, and you do your thing. We picked you to win the U.S. title. Glad to see that we were not wrong. That means that Michael Cole see what we see. And hey, I ain't go front. I'm looking forward to the second half of the year for him. No matter what the crew around him has. But yeah, they got to get over before they don't need Solo. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we are now one member over. Bullet Club versus United Empire and Solo. Hey, I'm just waiting for Haku to pop up and just do and then they jump him. That's what I'm waiting on at this point. Or just call it the Tongan line at this point. Either Gorillas of Destiny or Tongan line. A match that surprised me last night. In a couple of ways. I picked Asuka, you picked Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
Jade wins. I think it was rather predictable. But boy, did Asuka whoop Jade ass yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. I am
she earned that. She earned that through an ass whooping. It was like a rite of passage.
For sure. I was shocked by this, but I guess I shouldn't be. Let me stop being shocked at Jade Cargill's success, because I picked her to win the tournament. So I obviously I'm not tripping, because one for me, right? But I guess my thing is she's going over on the premier talent without having the premier matches. And I guess that's my discrepancy here. Now, yeah, and chat, feel free to tell me, am I tripping? Am I overstating this? Because at the same time, Jade Cargill literally could be the Ultimate Warrior of this era. And that's okay. Because, yeah, Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect should beat the Ultimate Warrior if we're talking about wrestling. But sometimes you just come out on fire and you're super strong and you're super popular and people just want to see you do your moves and get on out of there. And
the three you got.
Yeah, you dig what I'm saying? And maybe just maybe, and I'm willing to concede here, maybe just maybe, Jade Cargill is not meant to be a great wrestler, a great technician. Maybe she is just meant to be a great, strong, powerful attraction that gets it done. And women's division needs that. Because essentially, her and Nia can be the same character on the opposite ends of the spectrum, but also you got Raquel in that. And for a while, Rhea Ripley was in that space. But hey, maybe Jade Cargill is the best version of that. And maybe I need to stop tripping when she wins or being so shocked that she's going over clean on so many of the premier talent. But I mean, hey, but congrats to her though. I think it's great. People have been calling for this moment since she entered the Royal Rumble. they've been since she entered the Royal Rumble on her debut. They was like, oh man, we can't wait to see her at WrestleMania for the title. I'm like, damn, that's in 90 days. So Jade getting the world title, winning the Queen of the Ring, and then winning the title, not mad at it at all. I think maybe now I'm just in that state where it's time for me to calibrate who she is and why she's here, because there is a need for it in the division that she's in.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of overthinking when it comes to Jade Cargill. And I think also part of it is because of where she come from. Mm-hmm. It's AEW.
Yeah.
I think that when you are thinking about AEW, you're thinking about high quality wrestling. You're not thinking about superstars.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Jade Cargill belongs in the WWE, because they look at superstars. And when you look at Jade Cargill, you're not looking for a 5-star match.
Yeah.
Like Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior. Ken Patera, Don Morocco for some of the old heads.
Yeah.
The newer heads, Big Show, Brock Lesnar. Even though he is a wrestler, he's a power guy.
Yeah.
For people like that, you're looking for power moves and destruction. Sheamus.
For sure.
You're looking for kicks. Now, some of those people can have great matches.
Yes.
Paired with the right person.
Exactly.
And that's the point. You got to pair them with the right person. And it was interesting as I'm watching the match with her and Asuka. I'm looking like Asuka gassing her out. She tired. It was even a couple of times where I looked at Charles Robinson, the referee, and I felt like Charles Robinson was like, yo, slow down. To Asuka.
Yeah.
Like, watch that match again. Like, watch that match again. And
Jade Berg.
Yeah, like, watch that match again if you want. And you look at how Asuka, it felt like Asuka was treating that match. And Jade was like, what the fuck going on? But we gonna get through it. And Charles Robinson was like, girl, slow down.
Yeah.
Because Jade, even the finish, like I saw somebody said that was a botch. Yeah, if you want to classify that pin as a botch, go ahead. I classified that shit as Jade being tired as hell.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, and to Kim's point here in the chat, the hype doesn't match the wrestling and promo skills. And unfortunately, that was all on display within 4 minutes. Right? Because I do agree with you. Asuka was having an Asuka match though.
Yeah.
That's what and to Asuka's credit, and shout to Lil Nate for not like, I mean, he was trying to give her the heads up, but it's like, hey, look, Asuka matches go like this. You want to be the queen of the ring, you want to beat me. I can't come out here looking like less than what I am, and I'm coming off an injury. You know what I'm saying? So,
but see, that's the other part. And I kind of blame this on us more than I blame this on the WWE. What does the King of the Ring and a mid-card title have in common?
Oh, they're both aspiring to get to the world title.
Not just that. Matter of fact, not even that.
Let's go.
Workhorse.
Yeah, you got me. Yep. Yeah.
The majority of the winners are workhorse people.
Yeah.
Are technical people. Even think about what you had to do to win the King of the Ring in the first place. You had to survive a one-day tournament.
Yeah. Which is the best format, by the way.
Yeah. Right. Them the workers. Like, them the workers. Jade's not a worker.
Yeah.
Now, it's not to say that the worker has won the King of the Ring all the time, but when what we, the public, think about when we see the King of the Ring, is we think of the worker.
Yeah.
Even though he was a high card world champion, Bret Hart was a worker. He was a wrestler, technical wrestler, televised King of the Rings, winners, Bret Hart, Owen Hart, workers, Mabel. Everybody was like, what the hell are we doing here? Stone Cold Steve Austin, worker. Triple H, don't care what y'all say, worker.
Absolutely.
Ken Shamrock, I get it. UFC, one night tournament, boom. Billy Gunn.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Ken Shamrock not a worker?
No, what I'm saying is I get it.
Okay.
I still, over the worker, I get it. Because he probably, even at that time, you're probably not thinking of Ken Shamrock, King of the Ring.
Okay.
But in the UFC, at that time, gaining popularity, one night tournament. Oh, fuck the worker shit. He should win off of GP because he's fought in tournaments before.
And that's why I'm like, shit, what you mean?
Right, that's what I'm saying. You're not thinking drop toe hold. You're not thinking of the wrestler thought. You're thinking, oh man, UFC is gaining popularity. Ken Shamrock over here. If you put him in the title, if you put him in a tournament, he automatically becomes the favorite because this is what he used to do.
Yeah,
it don't matter. This motherfucker could have been Hulk Hogan in 1980.
Yeah,
he winning this shit
for sure.
Billy Gunn, nah. Kurt Angle, worker. Edge, worker. Brock Lesnar can work, but at that time, nobody was beating him.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I want to offer a caveat to Brock Lesnar because he's a power worker to me.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that for anybody that's listening is that yes, Brock Lesnar can really wrestle. If he really wanted to just wrestle you, he could. But you don't know. There is not a wrestler for more than 5 minutes. So I'm talking about 10 to 15 minutes that can be as high impact as Brock Lesnar. There isn't one. And that's a hell of a work. When you think about, oh, I'm going to lift up people and throw them for 15 minutes, or I'm going to be slamming and jumping and running, like that is a lot. Braun Strowman is good for a maybe 7 minutes. And some of that, he got to get his ass beat. Brock Lesnar can get into any match with anybody of any size, and he's going to dominate for 10 or 15 minutes and barely break a sweat sometimes. I believe Brock Lesnar is an elite power worker, and a lot of people are not on that level.
Booker T, if you go look back at his 7-match series with Chris Benoit, worker. William Regal, worker. Sheamus, at that time, power guy. But at that Sheamus, I get it, and he worked the King of the Ring aspect of everything. Bad News Barrett, I get it, but nah. I'm talking about worker. Yeah, Baron Corbin, nah, but the character. The character. Even King Corbin, Constable Corbin, all that. Xavier Woods, character based. Gunther, you don't even worker.
Yeah.
When we look at all of the televised winners of the King of the Ring, the majority all have in common that they go up in there and they work. They give you a quality ass match.
For sure.
So when people look at the King of the Ring, they're looking at those people. They're not thinking of the Sheamuses, really. They're not thinking about the Xavier Woods or the Baron Corbins.
Yeah.
They're not looking at the people who became King of the Ring and it became a part of their character.
Got you.
They're looking at the Bret Harts. They're looking at the Owen Harts. They're looking at the Kurt Angles. They're looking at the Brock Lesnars, even though he wanted to basically just beat The Rock.
Yeah.
Like it was a means to an end.
Yeah.
Like those people, Bret Hart, it became a storyline because of him and Jerry the King Lawler. With Owen, it became a storyline because he wanted to do the same thing that his brother did, but then eclipse it. Mabel is where it falls off the rails real quick because it's like, But at the same time, you put a 500 agile black man inside of a tournament, who beating him?
Yeah.
Other than The Undertaker at the time.
For sure. King Mabel. that was a wild time.
Right.
Well, hey, salute to Mabel. Rest in peace.
But then you look at the people who was untelevised and they won it. Don Morocco, Harley Race, even though at 86 he was on the downside. Yeah. Macho Man, Ted DiBiase.
And was like our age too.
Yeah, right, yeah.
He looked a mess to be our age.
He looked a mess at 40. Boy, that's why when you look at wrestlers, you be like, oh man, AJ Styles still got it. Yeah. He ain't like these old niggas, but he older than Harley Race was when he was. No, he ain't.
Yeah, he was.
Ted DiBiase, Tito Santana, and Bret Hart in 91. Like those are your untelevised winners. My point is when you look at the King of the Ring, you look at those people and you look at the workers. You're not even though Kurt Angle, Edge, Brock Lesnar, they all got title shots. Right? They all got title shots. Randy Orton got a title shot at SummerSlam to go up against Chris Benoit. I think that was, I forgot what that was. I don't think that was King of the Ring. Might have been wrong. Might be. Because I just rolled off some people. Can't remember. Might be. Either way it go. When you won King of the Ring, I don't think a lot of people cared that you wrestled for the title.
Yeah.
But
that didn't become a thing till Stone Cold to me, to be honest.
And he didn't even use it for that.
Right.
When we think about it. So that was the Royal Rumble for him. So it's a workers title. That's the connection between a mid-card and the King of the Ring. It's a workers title. So transfer that to the Queen of the Ring. That's why originally we was like, yo, this could be a Roxanne Perez joint. But we don't mind if Asuka wins it.
Yeah.
Because it's a workers championship, so to speak. And you get to parade around saying that you are the best wrestler in the company. It's not about winning a world championship. It's not about winning a mid-card championship. It's about winning the right to say you are the best wrestler in the world. So when Jade Cargill wins it, you know that ain't it.
Yeah.
But she's not even Sheamus at this point. Yeah. She's not going to be walking around saying that she's the queen of the WWE. She might say she's the queen bitch, and they might not even let her do that. Because the bitch title, if this was AEW, she won some type of queen of the ring, she would be like, I'm the queen bitch. Yeah. She can't even use that. So my question to you, now that she is the queen of the ring, who should she face at SummerSlam? Should it be Tiffany Stratton? Should it be Naomi? Or should it be Bianca Belair?
Well, I think it's going to be Tiffany because of the heat check, right? Because, and no disrespect to Tiffany, but I don't think this title run is going how everybody thought. I just don't think, and the fact that the fact that they're running back Tiffany versus Nia so many times, that lets me know that they not really into this. And the Charlotte Tiffany thing didn't quite go right for some reason. And I don't know. So I'm not here to say anything that I think to quote fix it or whatever, but I don't think this Tiffany title run is going that well. So I think this is going to be a heat check to see who cancels the other one out. And I definitely got Naomi cashing in on Jade because I think that's just what they want. And then because the other thing about it is Jade's best matches are going to come with Naomi or Bianca, and I would lean more Naomi because Bianca's going to play the power game with her, and they're just going to have just power matches, and that doesn't highlight Bianca for the great worker that she is. But Naomi, smaller, another strong, she's craftier. I think Naomi has taken her ring psychology and her ring IQ up so many notches that this is the best route for them to go. But I also feel that Jade winning the title, Naomi instantly cashing in, and then Jade chasing Naomi will be a better win for Jade after in the long run, because speaking to everybody's point, yours, Kim's here in the chat, Jade is not ready to be the champ of Raw or SmackDown. Not for the quality that is expected in this arena. In AEW, that can fly because they were still building a women's division, and they had the girl like Freddie Mercury over there. This ain't that, bro. Like there are like Roxanne Perez. Like, you got to make it make sense that Roxanne Perez didn't win this tournament. That's what you have to do. And the only way to combat that now is with a great storyline that everybody is already invested in.
So I'm going to amend my guarantee a couple of weeks ago. to where I said that you're going to see a triple threat match between all three black women, sisters with suplexes, as I used to call them, for the SmackDown Women's World Championship. I'm going to amend it. Bianca Belair will be Women's World Champion by the time SummerSlam happens.
Okay.
Jade Cargill will go up against Bianca Belair at SummerSlam. Nobody wants to see Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
If Bianca Belair is healthy. You put the match that everybody want to see, that you've been kind of teasing every time you see these women together, even when they were tagging together, because everybody and their mama was saying that Jade or Bianca was going to turn. But at SummerSlam, Naomi is going to cash in on Jade when she defeats Bianca Belair. Or Bianca Belair when she cashes in on Jade. Because then both women are going to be looking at the new world champion. I think Bianca Belair is supposed to be back very soon because she had broken fingers.
Yeah.
And she's getting rested and everything. I think that match may happen as early as Evolution.
Oh yeah, September. Yeah.
No, that's July. That's coming up. July 12th.
Shoot. They're not. Oh, I thought
no,
Evolution was September. My bad.
No, that's coming up. If Bianca Belair is healthy, now I'm prefacing this if she's healthy, because like I said, broken fingers, she should be back soon. She had some bandages on her hand when we last saw on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But what we saw on SmackDown, what did we see on SmackDown, y'all? We saw Jade and Bianca staring at each other. Bianca like, bitch. Jade like, bitch. Naomi like, bitches. Naomi goes over on one of those two women. But that's my prediction. Naomi's going to have, in order for Naomi to cash in, for it to make sense, it does not make sense on Tiffany Stratton unless you want to make it Jade versus Naomi at SummerSlam.
I got you. But it's going to be hard to do that because they've already, hey, look, they WrestleMania'd us. So now the Queen of the Ring, King of the Ring.
Evolution is on July 13th. Excuse me, not even the 12th. It's on July 13th.
Man.
2020.
I don't know why I pushed it out to September. My bad, y'all. I don't even understand why I did that. But yes, they WrestleMania'd us. So now Queen and King of the Ring is now the new Royal Rumble. And so now the title match has got to take place then. So yeah, I do wonder what they are going to do with Tiffany Stratton. Because again, I think I don't know, she had so much momentum, but then she got that belt. And then or title, I should say. I'm sorry, guys, not belt, it's title. So she got the title, and it's just like the winds have just changed. And now she's on the program where she's not even the fifth hottest woman on that roster. Because I'll put Charlotte at fourth off of just hate alone. I got Naomi, Jade, Bianca without even being there. Charlotte because everybody hate her, and then Tiffany, and that's the champ. That's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. And Asuka's back. That's not good either.
Yeah, so like I said, that is my prediction. That is my guarantee that at SummerSlam, it is going to be Bianca versus Jade. Naomi cashes in. And to me, that's the best storyline too. Because it intertwines all three of these women that's been intertwined for the last couple of months.
Facts. Hey, and not for nothing.
I hate to say it. Go ahead.
Oh, not for nothing. I do want to hear Naomi's music hit when she raised that title up. Her music is fire. Like strictly off the fact of I want to see Naomi in the stadium with the belt while her music is playing. Like that's a moment for me off the rip.
Yeah, and I see Russ saying that Blake Monroe, aka Mariah May,
Yeah.
she go to Raw. She'll be on Netflix. She's more replacement. She's more low key. She's more of a replacement for Liv than she is Tiffany Stratton. Blake Monroe can go over to Raw along with Jordan Grace because like those two women don't even need to be in NXT. Those two when it's done, they taking their ass over to Raw. The end. Now back to John Cena versus CM Punk. John Cena wins. We both said that was gonna happen.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Let's talk about the interruptions of the match first.
Mm-hmm.
You had Sami Zayn and Penta come down there. Rollins and Associates is the name I'm going to give them. So we get a new name. It's going to be Rollins and Associates.
That's fire.
You have that right there. But it feels like a 6-man match is coming at some point in some type of way with Punk, Sami Zayn, and Penta versus Rollins and Associates.
Rollins and Associates.
Yeah, that's until we get. Yeah. I saw them say that the WWE trademarked the Oracle.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, is that gonna be like Seth Rollins' new nickname? Is it gonna be Roman Reigns' new nickname? I don't know.
Man, listen, Rollins, they better watch out. Warren Buffett don't play that, man. He might want to keep his name, bro.
Hey, but moving off of them, is Cody versus John Cena destined to be a double turn?
I believe so. I've been calling for it for 2 months. So yeah, I believe so. There's no reason for it not to be honest with you.
Okay. Because my guarantee for today, the other one, is this final boss shit ain't over with.
Now that sucks. That sucks.
The Rock heard y'all. The Rock heard y'all loud and clear. And yes, I do hate it when people announce trademarks. I hate that shit. Just hit me over the head with a new name, fam.
Yeah.
Even though I damn near predicted Mariah Mays. I said Mariah Monroe.
Oh, hey. Yeah. Yeah, that is right. That is right.
I don't know where Blake came from.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a country singer on the rise out here.
Right, yeah. Blake Monroe sounds like she's going to be at Morgan Wallen's bar every Sunday for the summer.
Singing her heart out.
Yeah, And the same thing that Mariah May wears. Like, just all it is she's going to have a guitar. But nah, I believe, goddamn, Russ, I believe that there's potential for Paul Heyman to have a bigger play involved. All of this shit. To where Seth controls Raw, Cody does SmackDown. I do believe that there's a potential for that, Russ. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think The Rock is going to finally convince Cody that he needs to turn to the dark side. And at SummerSlam, there's going to be a double turn. Because then The Rock is going to say, y'all know I don't like John Cena. I hate dude. I hate dude. But it was a means to an end. I had to use John to show Cody where he needs to go and what he needs to do. So he finally got it. Now my work here is done. But that's how we close this final boss story, because The Rock finally convinces Cody to come on over here. And that's when you get Cody as the heel and everybody chasing him, which will bring back Roman Reigns. So the story
your story makes
end.
sense.
The story will end at SummerSlam because the story will end with Cody Rhodes saying, I don't need y'all no more.
Man, listen. I just don't like seeing The Rock because he been messing up stuff outside of his promos leading up to not the past SummerSlam but the last SummerSlam when he told Seth, look at the lines. I just blurred it. That's been my favorite moment. His Twitter promo was my favorite moment of being the final boss. But the story makes so much more. It makes so much sense when you say it like that. That I actually still have faith that this is not going to happen because it makes too much sense. Like they've just done everything that made no sense earlier. But I'll tell you what you have crafted out here, I like way more than what they've actually done. So
I mean, yeah.
So don't get me wrong. I'm not even shitting on your angle. I mess with it. But will The Rock come in and really do business? Like, hey, listen. As much as people talk about how Hulk Hogan don't want to do business, when is The Rock gonna do business? When is The Rock gonna do business?
I say he'll do business because he'll finally get what he wanted in the first place.
Okay.
And that's Roman versus The Rock.
Okay.
I think this leads to Roman versus Rock in Vegas. Now, the other part about this is that I don't think that they're done with Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes.
Oh, yeah. Especially if they call him a character like that.
Yeah, I don't think they're done. I think we called Jey Uso's title run 1992 Bret Hart. Now, I'm not going to say he's going to run off on a roll like Bret Hart. But him going over on Cody at WrestleMania will be a whole lot bigger than him going over on Gunther. If they believe, I'll put it like this. You will see who the WWE truly believes in when we get to WrestleMania 42. When we look at transformational WrestleManias, pick one. WrestleMania 3 is a transformational WrestleMania. Yeah. WrestleMania 4 is a transformational WrestleMania. WrestleMania 9, no matter how you think about it, is a transformational WrestleMania because it leads to WrestleMania 10 and creating that moment. WrestleMania 10, transformational WrestleMania. When you look at WrestleMania 13, transformational WrestleMania. 14, I believe that is, with Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. Transformational WrestleMania.
Yeah. 1998.
It is now time. Yep. It is now time for a transformational WrestleMania. You will see who the WWE believes in at WrestleMania 42, whoever gets in the ring with Cody Rhodes. Because even though these ain't old dudes by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
Orton has said that he's probably on his last run. Cody has talked about leaving soon. AJ Styles is 48-ish, I think. He's in his mid to late 40s.
For sure.
Everybody who's at the top of the card is 40 and over. So they are in some of their mid to final runs. Jay is the youngest of them, though.
Yeah.
But when you look at outside of that group, who do you consider next? Logan Paul?
That was the first name on my mind.
But Logan Paul, as a face, it's not going to work.
No, not at all. But that's where maybe Sami Zayn gets his moment.
So, to me, you're going to see at WrestleMania 42 if the WWE really believes in Jey Uso. Because if they believe in Jey Uso, he would not have to redo the Royal Rumble thing. He wouldn't have to. But what did Shawn Michaels do?
He put Philippians on his chest and stopped being a heathen.
Oh, no. Even before that, even before he was still a heathen. Even before he was still a heathen. He won back-to-back Royal Rumbles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And part of that back-to-back Royal Rumble, he ended up going up against Bret Hart, and the boyhood dream became a reality.
Yeah.
This has to be a transformational Royal Rumble, not for Triple H, not to introduce the Triple H era. No, it is to introduce the new version of the WWE New Generation. Whether it's Jey Uso or somebody else, we'll find out, because at night 2 at WrestleMania in Vegas, it would be Cody Rhodes versus whoever they think that person is. Because by that time, John Cena's not going to be here for WrestleMania 42.
Nope. Listen, for me, for what you're saying, and I do believe it, but for me, for Jey Uso to be in that picture, his promos have to take 2 leaps and a bound by Christmas. Like, they have to.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, I don't think he sold WrestleMania well enough, and that's why he opened the show versus closing it. I think, granted, he sold tickets, he sold merch, but I don't think he sold the event, and that's why he opened the show. It didn't have to be that way, because nobody was hotter than Jey Uso in the first quarter of this year, as far as wrestling is concerned. Nobody. So
to that point, that's why I believe that's why I told you I put that more on creative than I do on Jey. You kept making him the underdog after he did what he did. And Kim, you're right. You can't have 2 back-to-back winners the last 4 years unless it means something. And this is why I said this is a transformational WrestleMania. I'm going to give y'all a perfect example of this. Remember, we kept talking about who can beat The Undertaker, whoever beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania is going to be over like Rover? And everybody started throwing out names. I remember when Ted DiBiase Jr. was the favorite to be the person to beat The Undertaker. Or I remember when it was Randy Orton as a potential person. Then we went through that Batista, like, man, maybe Batista could be the one. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, but we talked about the young cats, the cats it was Edge. Because whoever did that was going to be built for a while. That was their ticket. And I'm going to give you 2 names we see in the chat. We talked about just one, Jey Uso. He is the biggest seller in the company. You can't take that away. And I'm sorry, only us give a shit about his matches. These kids don't give a shit about Jey Uso matches not being good. They don't. They only care about him being strong in the areas we need him to be strong in to believe him. But these kids ain't checking for a 5-star Jey Uso match. And guess who also ain't checking for a 5-star Jey Uso match? The WWE. Because they don't give a shit about matches. They care about moments.
Yeah.
The moments make the match. You barely hear a blip about greatest WrestleMania matches of all time until you're talking about moments. And every moment they got in the top 5, every match they got in the top 5 for WrestleMania is a moment.
Yeah.
Not a true 5-star Dave Meltzer type of match.
Right.
You go look at Wrestle Kingdom or AEW All In for that shit. We gonna give you a moment. And a moment would be, instead of him putting them to sleep, Jey Uso getting on the top rope and splashing down on Cody Rhodes and getting the 1, 2, 3, and everybody in Vegas yeeting.
Yeah.
That's what they look for. However, give you another name. And I'm unsure about this name unless the Karrion Kross match is a character change. Because we did see a different Sami Zayn. Matter of fact, we've seen a different Sami Zayn since he punched Karrion Kross ass in the mouth on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
And told him, yo, I talked to Pierce on Monday. I talked to Pierce. Hey, it's me and you at Night of Champions. See you there. That's not normally Sami Zayn, y'all.
Yeah.
Normally Sami Zayn is, all right, I got to fight you. No, we fighting. And he won. And then when he won, he got up on the top rope and he stared at Karrion Kross like, bitch, try me again. Maybe this is a change for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes into Royal Rumble, night 2.
Mm-hmm.
And he wins the Royal Rumble. And then he goes off and say, I want to wrestle Seth. That still ain't night 2 over Cody if he has to go up against Jay.
I'm digging.
Outside of, so my question to you, and I'm going to rephrase this again, so I want, because I want everybody to be clear this. I believe that from a wrestler, leader of the company standpoint, WrestleMania 42 needs to be a transitional WrestleMania. We need to align that with some of the other WrestleManias that showed a clear direction of the company to this person here. Sami Zayn has been mentioned. We've mentioned Jey Uso. Is there anybody else in the WWE right now that you can say can main event against a heel Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 42?
Hey, listen. I know what you're saying about heel Cody Rhodes. But hey, listen, man. The two names that come to my mind, on top of who we just mentioned, Jay and Sammy, and I got Sammy ahead of Jay. Like, for instance, my three-headed monster right now to win the Royal Rumble are Sami Zayn, Logan Paul, and Dominik Mysterio. That's who I got. That's who I got. And again, hey, look, we watched last WrestleMania. Heel Dominik Mysterio. Go over. Win a title. And that crowd did one of the loudest pops of the entire weekend. So I think we just got to develop a space for a tweener here. Or somebody that's going to make us just like Cody less.
I mean, you could win Royal Rumble as a heel and go to WrestleMania as a face, though.
Yes. Also, the thing I'm throwing out there, because hey, especially if we're talking young talent, we're talking the new talent, we're talking about just the people that we are expected to be in that transition. Because even though, again, respect to Jey Uso's success, I still believe that this just wasn't supposed to happen. The only difference between Jey Uso, Yeet Mania and Kofi Mania, the only difference is that Kofi didn't get a chance to stand on his own and see how far he could really take it. Jay got a chance to step away from Roman, step away from Paul, step away from Jimmy, solo, and like, oh no, because we got something here. And even as he separated from Cody and Sammy, like he was just put around so many main event people to live up to the main event Jey Uso moniker that we just believed in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just believed in that. I think, regardless of how people spin it, I believe that you have a Sammy, you have a Logan, you have a Dominik who just done more with a lot less. Like, who else can say I stood next to the champ for 4 years and headlined 2 WrestleManias, and I went to the champion in the 3rd one? Like, a lot of people cannot say that. Like, Dominik Mysterio was in a situation where, dude, literally everybody in his faction and his daddy was ahead of him. Everybody. Logan Paul was just a celebrity wrestler. It was supposed to be no more than that. It was like, oh no, hey, this guy from YouTube is gonna come here and wrestle. Oh, that's cool. But him and Bad Bunny start showing out. And that's why I don't have Jay in the mix for this, even though I think you're 1,000,000,000% right. The people that love Jey Uso the most, they don't care about his matches. They don't care about his promos. They just want to get to the yeet. But the problem is, that ain't gonna sell WrestleMania tickets the second time because we're not clear that it sold it the first time.
So look, I think Kim said something in the chat that I think that she's 100% on, that the WWE is not developing talent, face talent. And I think I agree with it to a point. And here's the point that I don't like, that I'm not there with yet. Is because I don't think you need to develop a whole bunch of faces. You just need to figure out who's the next one and who's the biggest one. Do you Batista Braun Breaker? Do you Eddie Guerrero Dom Mysterio? Is there somebody else in NXT that we don't know just yet? When you looking at these younger wrestlers, who's the one that you feel like can take the mantle and run with it? And again, I'm talking about 40 or 39 and younger. This is not taken away from the OGs because I'm 43.
Yeah.
But who's going to be that next act? To me, right now, even though he will be 40, to me right now, the only person that really fits in this because of where you see him when you look at all of the numbers is Jey Uso. Everybody else you can name is affected by something that you had said earlier. When you saw somebody lose to somebody. What was that earlier? Forgot the exact quote that
when Karrion Kross lost to Jeff Hardy the first night on Raw.
You saw Karrion Kross lose to Jeff Hardy. We saw Austin Theory look like shit. We see Grayson Waller not. Grayson Waller might be the more untapped person in that group right now because Austin Theory has been tapped a couple of times.
Austin Theory, unfortunately, Austin Theory lost me when he cashed in Money in the Bank to win the U.S. title back.
Right. See, like, it's shit like that. So to me, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, dog, for me, get squashed by Roman Reigns and lose the Money in the Bank. Don't go get the U.S. title. Some people need to understand it's more power in losses than wins. Like that there were so many ways to make that matter because that's going to be a cash in you're going to remember for all the wrong reasons. So that lost me, period. And then this is after beating John Cena, I believe.
And this is when I wish Brando Tanay was here. I just gave that man the nickname Brando Tanay because he worked with ESPN on a couple of these lists.
Yeah.
Just as recently as November 25th, they dropped a list of the best wrestlers under 30. Dominik Mysterio was number one. Because I'm gonna tell you who it could have been. Right? But it's Dominik Mysterio number one on that list, talking about WWE wrestlers, right? After that, you don't really get into WWE until you see Braun Breaker at number 11. Austin Theory is still 27 It could change, but I don't think it's going to change here. He's number 15 on that list.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you what it should have been. It should have been MJF.
Yeah.
It should have been MJF. For somebody that it was set up for, it should have been him.
That's true.
It's not. So when you look at, because I'm also going to look at people that could go dip, they come back.
Yeah.
It should have been him, but it's not going to be, right? So when you look at just specifically in the WWE, again, this is the person that you set up for the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
The next 10 years, this man is going to be at the top of the card. He going to get some good vacation, come back at a SummerSlam, win a title. Y'all going to be chanting his name, buying his shirts. He going to be part-time 1 minute, full-time the next. This is your person for the next 10 years until WrestleMania 50 at MetLife, biggest WrestleMania of all time, and then the 2 years after that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to look at. So again, I'm going to put this question on social.
Yeah.
We'll see what we're going to clip this up. We're going to see it. We're talking about for the next 10 years, WrestleMania 42 to 52, a wrestler under 40. Who would you have go up against a heel Cody Rhodes? Because it's trending like that might be the case.
Yeah.
Who's the person that goes up against the top heel of the company at WrestleMania 42? Because again, I believe that WrestleMania 42 is a transformative for a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
When you pick this wrestler, you say this company is on his back. And you talk about WrestleMania 50, that's going to be the biggest WrestleMania ever. So that's what you're setting up for. And if you're setting up for that, a lot of the wrestlers you see right now at the top of the card going to be between 47 and 55.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that TKO and Triple H ain't thought that far.
Right.
So when
absolutely.
you look at WrestleMania 50, like you looked at WrestleMania 40 and said Baron Corbin is the tall nigga.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, for the new listeners here, because I don't want y'all to think I went crazy like in the last 18 months. All right. Well, we started this show in 2017. One of my first guarantees, matter of fact, I think my very first guarantee on the show is that Big Cass and Baron Corbin would headline WrestleMania 40. And although Flashes of Greatness and Vince McMahon's affinity for big white guys was all in play, it did not happen that way. but this is the conversation, the question, because at that time, that wasn't so. It was far in hindsight, but with trajectory, potentially it could have happened. But who knew Carmelo would be the biggest star? Who knew Enzo would get himself further over? Who knew Big Cass would become a raging alcoholic and borderline abusive? We didn't know that. Baron Corbin would proceed to get himself over 3 more times and become one of the top heels in the company. However, he lost his cash in and things were just never the same after that. But this is what Bang is talking about. One of our guarantees and how we started the show. We're now here in 2025. And the question is, who are the 20-somethings or at least the 30-year-old right now that is going to carry the torch? Because Roman Reigns is obviously not planning on being anything near full-time. John Cena starting his retirement. I don't know how real the back situation is for Randy Orton, but Randy Orton is just being facetious at this point, saying he'll wrestle for another 10 years. AJ Styles, just due to booking, I think, is not going to be in the WWE too much longer. Then you have The Rock, who we don't want to see wrestling, but he'll make his appearances. Triple H has realized, I ain't got it no more. Then you got the Usos, who will be 40 plus. Kevin Owens, who's on the shelf right now. There is everybody, unless we are in a changing of the guard where just the women are going to be headlining night 1 and 2 because that's where the game is. I don't know. I don't think you can rule things out because, in all honesty, if you went with the top 10 roster the last 2 or 3 years, how can you not put Bianca and Rhea in the top 3? Like, the argument can be made that Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Jey Uso are the 3 hottest wrestlers in the world right now. And who's to say that Jey Uso was definitely 3 every one of those years, or 1 every one of those years? I like Trick and Mello, but man, that ain't going well. That ain't going well. Ricky Starks, much like I talked about LA Knight a year or 2 ago, I told y'all about Ricky Starks when I see him on NWA Power. But we got to get there first. There's a lot. I mean, Solo. Hey, look, Solo could be that person. I think they were, again, trajectory is a mug, man. And the bidding war of 2024 didn't go how we thought. So
yeah, and so that's all I'm saying. Like, if we're at WrestleMania 42, you got to start looking down the road.
Yeah, I get
and
it.
when
no,
you
you're
look
right.
at all of the top wrestlers, all of the crowd favorites, they're 39 and up. So whether it's this year or that year, and I feel like whether it's this year or next year, and I feel like it's going to be this year, or WrestleMania 42.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at WrestleMania 42, you will officially see who the WWE feels is going to hold the mantle for them for the next 10 to 15 years.
Mm.
When John Cena is retiring, Roman Reigns is wrestling lesser and lesser, Cody Rhodes is seeing the end of the tunnel. Those are your top 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got to start looking and saying, all right, when we get to 50, who going to be the ones? And just put them on the board, take them down as you see fit, and put new people in there.
Yeah.
But I don't think that is nothing wrong in looking and saying, hey, we got to start that clock today to make sure we got the one. Because what you don't want is to put yourself in a situation where Brock Lesnar is the one who defeats The Undertaker, when it could have been a younger, more celebrated guy to put them in the spot.
Yeah.
Who's going to pass the torch to who? Is it going to be Roman passing the torch to somebody? Cody passing it? Seth Rollins passing it? Somebody got to do it, though. And who are they passing it to? Are they already in the WWE? Are they somewhere else? Are they that little kid that's reading the cereal box like Jay-Z said? Mm-hmm. Who is it going to be? Right now, on the roster, to me, it's only 2 people that you can trust. Outside of that, I don't know. They got to figure it out.
Yeah,
and
man.
That's how you'll know, especially if Cody's turning heel. If that's especially what's coming up next. As Kim said, they ain't got a lot of great faces. If that's the case, if Cody goes face, who got to replace him? And it goes back to what we said last week, too. What did we say last week, Kim? We said that if, with this quarterback shit that I hate, if Cody Rhodes is QB1, Jey Uso is QB2.
Yeah.
And at some point, he either gonna go to another team or he gonna take over like Willie Beeman did Dennis Quaid ass.
Yeah.
And knowing Cody, every step he's been at, every place he's been at, he's been a quality face. He's been a better heel.
For sure. For sure.
And he can still go anywhere he wants to and do everything he wants to, being a bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, this is the Dash and Cody Rhodes podcast, y'all.
That
so
too.
I'm never anti-Cody being a heel. Sorry.
Oh, you know.
I'm sorry. I'm not anytime. And look, the look on his face when he won King of the Ring last night was like, "Ooh, I think I'm here for this. I think I'm here for this," because now the quest for the title gets real for a different reason.
Look, I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you this right now, fam. not only am I all for Cody Rhodes turning heel, he could do that shit today. And we ain't even got nothing planned. Like Cody Rhodes could turn heel now. This is a Dash and Cody Rhodes podcast. That's one. Two, I hate this QB talk. I hate this QB1 talk. I hate this QB of the WWE shit. I hate all that shit. I hate it. The only Cody Rhodes I like is the Cody Rhodes that tell you why you should be doing what I'm telling you to do, because I know everything, because my daddy is Dusty Rhodes, but I'm even better than him and my brother. I like that Cody Rhodes. I don't like this I am a real American, say your prayers, train, take your vitamins, loyalty, hustle, and respect.
And listen to your dad.
Yeah, I'm not that Cody. I'm the Cody that's like, yo, I'm better than you. Fuck you. Yeah. That's the Cody I like. And I can't wait for that Cody to come back. I don't like this whole Cody nice and talking to the little white kids and the black kids and the Mexican kids and saying, can we all just get along? No. I want my Cody to be dashing Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, except I'm married.
Yeah.
Brandy, bring the kid and the dog. Let's show America why we better than them. Let's show America what they need to be.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? During the Trump era too. Why not?
Yes.
But yeah, hey, no, the QB1, do it for Paul. I don't like any of that. Hey, Russ, no. I get the Nightmare Family faction and all of that, but for me, Cody Rhodes is a standalone heel. I'm for real. Man, I don't think y'all remember. Just if you give Cody the mic and let him cook as a heel by himself with nobody else in the way, you're getting gold and platinum. You're getting gold and platinum. And I think we forgot that, and it's time that he brings it back. So I'm always pro that. There will never be a time. Cody Raheem Rhodes is done, man. Hey, the Black American hero is an American nightmare. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The biracial Black American hero is an American nightmare, even in itself. But
nah, I need my Cody to be Homelander at this point. We've done enough. We've done enough with this good guy shit. I need my Cody to be Homelander. I need my Cody to be like, yo, I'm doing this for y'all. Y'all don't respect it. Like, this is why y'all ain't gonna never be shit. Like, my daddy was the son of a plumber. And I'm the son of Dusty Rhodes. But Dusty Rhodes ain't never live up to the standard that I lived. And all of y'all keep talking about this man and revering this man. This man was barely even there for me and my brothers and sister. Like, he was trying to entertain y'all, and y'all don't even respect it, because y'all always be talking about the McMahon family or some other family. That's why in my music I said that there's more than one family of wrestling. Rock told me. Rock put me on. I wasn't listening at first.
And that's where you lost me.
But he ain't gonna pop up no more. That's what he might not even pop up. He might just say The Rock was right. And then you had like the voice of The Rock on the screen, like voice of The Rock. Like, you might see that. You might not see him. Or if you see him, you're going to see him on the screen and he's just going to be like this. And then Cody going to kick John Cena in the nuts. And then like QT Marshall, let me stop playing because now I'm going too far. All right, it is now time to talk about my favorite. Like, go ahead.
Are we going to cover the Punk Cena match? Because we never really got to it.
No, it's no need. Like, it's really, honestly, if you want to, I don't think it's really no need.
Yeah,
and here's the reason why I don't think it's no need, because it was too many niggas in this match in the first place. It was too many people. At the end of the day, it was too many people up in there in the first place. It don't feel like this was supposed to be John Cena versus CM Punk. It was supposed to be John Cena versus CM Punk to lead us into some other shit.
Okay, I got you. Hey, the only thing I want to say about the match, is that Penta pissed me off. I'm sick of this guy. All right. First of all, a main event match for the undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Championship is going on. Your music hits and you do your full intro. Dog, if I ever see him catwalking down to the ring while a main event match is going on, all to be attacked by Braun Breaker, dog, Dog, I almost threw something at my television, and I'm not even that kind of guy. I'm not even the let's get a reaction of breaking the TV for YouTube. I almost did it because why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? I think Kim spoke to it earlier. I was like, dog, that pissed me off. First of all, out of all the music I wanted to hit during the match, that was the one time I was like, well, damn, I kind of would have rather heard Fiend and seen Travis Scott come out there, because why the fuck is he here? Why is he here? Sorry. He's a legend. I get it. I know about the match with Chelsea Green. I watched it, some of it. But no, I don't like that guy. I'm sorry.
I think the best thing about John Cena versus CM Punk this weekend was this right here.
Yeah. Even though, shout out to the white people that are just totally misunderstanding what not like us really means.
Right, yeah. But at the same time, the entendres that CM Punk did. Yeah. Like, this was not better than John Cena's promo, which apparently John Cena said on the Breakfast Club that he ain't necessarily like that. Think that was the Breakfast Club.
It's crazy, right?
I was like, wow. But the reason why I like this promo from CM Punk, as somebody who's rapped and somebody who loves rap, this wasn't your standard just 16 bars. Yeah. There was some entendres in there. There was some rhyme schemes in there. It wasn't simple. I was like, okay, all right. Somebody who raps back there actually did this for CM Punk.
Yeah.
Because, of course, we know he didn't do it. But this wasn't even the John Cena standard 2-line joint. Hey, all right, Punk. Okay, you represented us well.
Yeah, so came with this with the Cubby throwback on. Now he could have put a Cubby hat on. Now he know better than this. Now why you got so much Chicago paraphernalia on looking like a tourist when you got I mean, there's some fire Cubby hats that match that jersey. I've literally just seen them.
Well, it depends on when he got it, because that's a personalized jersey. True enough. But this is also why it sucks that he's a Cubs fan, because if he was a White Sox fan, he would have had a Bulls White Sox like jersey. However, yes, it did look like he was a tourist, but that's why I wasn't even worried about the outfit. I was more like, okay, I like the scheme of what he's doing. He seems prepared. He flubbed a couple of times, but because of the scheme, it seems like he's prepared, and there's somebody culturally relevant to help him with that backstage instead of the standard 1-2 bar routine. I like the scheme, and I was proud of him when it came to the scheme and everything. So real quick. Sure. So real quick before we get up into our Do We Care segment, we do want to congratulate Jade Cargill for winning Queen of the Ring. Yes. And we want to congratulate her for putting on the crown. Yeah. She put on the crown. We was happy about that. At least I was happy about that. She seemed genuinely glad that she won it. And we'll see what happens when it comes to SummerSlam. Also want to shout out this shot right here, because Cabacho was off in the cut. And hopefully he goes back to his role as chauffeur for them instead of anything else. And again, Sammy, y'all tried with Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I'm a fan of Karrion Kross. Probably just not on the main roster.
For sure.
Simple as that. Now, we're going to go ahead and go to the Do We Care segment. For this segment right here, we are going to start off with how Russ calls her the bird lady.
Hey.
So the bird lady again had a problem with her top. On Raw, she was wrestling. She had she was fighting. She cost Bayley the Intercontinental Championship, like I said was going to happen. And after costing her that, she was not fighting and everything, and her top, she kept having to fix it. Does her top care about her?
No, but they care about us, and that's all that matters.
I mean, I feel you. She has more wardrobe malfunctions in that area than anybody, and it's not a lot there.
Or maybe it is, and that's the problem.
There we go. At this point, we've talked about this, but I'll ask again.
No, we gotta do what happened to that girl.
At this point, do the WWE really care about the King of the Ring? Like, do they really give a shit? Look how Cody Rhodes is looking at this shit. Man. Cody Rhodes is looking at this like, I did that for this.
Yeah, hey man, you know what? Hey, listen, I'm conflicted here because honestly, the detail in the crowns for both the King and the Queen, I think these are some of the hardest crowns ever. Yeah. Like just wrestling history. So for people to win this tournament and not embrace the crowns and just the aspect of it, I don't know, man. I feel a little slighted. I think for even if it ain't as expensive as it looks, I think the presentation as far as the coronation goes is great. But to your point earlier and to the format that we like, I want to see the 8 men and the 8 women that are in the tournament left battle it out in one night for both crowns so we can restore that feeling of like, no, dog, you really earned King and Queen of the Ring. Like, rep it right.
Yeah, I want my end match or my one night tournaments back. Yeah. I want that back. Like, that's the part of this that don't matter to me about the King of the Ring, which is why people consider it a workers' title. I need that back, or at least somebody else to go over and get that done. I don't need that. I don't need this right here. No, we're straight. We're straight when it comes to this. Let me see where we are at. We are also, oh, this is important to us. Keith Lee tweeted, Camp. I don't know if you saw this, but Keith Lee, who has been out of action for I don't know how long. It seems like forever, but Keith Lee, who has been out of action, tweeted. He had tweeted to a fan who had tweeted basically saying how much they missed him. I'm trying to pull up the tweet right now, but he said, hey, it ain't on me. While I'm out, it's not on me. But just know that I'm healthy and I'm okay. And that thing. So I'm pulling it up right now. Hold on for a second. I want to go ahead and put this in there so people can see this, because I think it is very important as we talk about somebody who we projected to be like, man, we definitely projected to be one of those ones for right now, especially when you see like where Gunther is and stuff like that. So let me make sure there was up. That's the tweet right there. Keith and Paul Stradley Paul said, real Keith Lee, you are missed on TV, but we know what you're doing. What's important, take care of yourself. God bless you, brother. Keith Lee said, again, I am quite fine. It is not up to me when it comes to a return, but blessings to you as well. Your thoughts on that tweet?
Butterfly effect, man. And don't get me wrong, I don't think Vince had the greatest idea with the whole Bearcat thing, but I really do think that Keith Lee, much like a lot of other indie wrestlers, overstated their value too soon because of just the internet, to be honest with you. because you want to talk about plan versus actual. That Survivor Series moment, Roman Reigns, Keith Lee, all things considered, Keith Lee's supposed to be going through right now. Keith Lee's supposed to be Jey Uso. Keith Lee's supposed to be Dominik Mysterio. None of that happened. And I mean, there was literally a time where MJF, Adam Cole, and Keith Lee were the three names to be today, like the future of the entire wrestling business. And now he's fine, perfect picture of health as far as he's concerned, and he can't even get on TV. That's disappointing. That's upsetting. I hope something turns around for the brother. And man, maybe just hear the people that's been doing it a minute out, bro. Just maybe hear them out. I think you on mute, bro.
Yes, I am, because I was talking to my son. That's why when all of those people talk about, I can't wait to insert wrestler here, leaves and go to AEW, this is why I say be careful what you wish for. Yeah. Because to me, Keith Lee was a future WWE world champion in some type of capacity. He could have been a world champion in TNA right now. He should have been an AEW champion, unless health is the reason for all of that. But it is no way in hell that Keith Lee should just be sitting around if Keith Lee is healthy. Yeah. Again, this is if Keith Lee is healthy. If Keith Lee is not healthy and he's still dealing with those health issues, then yeah, sit your ass down. But if Keith Lee is telling me that he's healthy, his ass should be on TV. And it's a travesty that his ass is not on TV. And he's been out for a while.
Yeah.
He's been out for a while. So if it's, oh man, I will bring him on TV, but I'm concerned that we'll have to take him off TV if something happens. Then release his ass and let him go in the indies and do his thing. Yeah. But the fact that he say he's healthy enough to go and he ain't going, that's a travesty. If Keith Lee is healthy, free Keith Lee. If he ain't healthy, free Keith Lee. Either way it go, free Keith Lee until he don't need to be freed.
Facts.
Simple as that. If he's sick, bye. Wish you well on your future endeavors. Go get better. If he's well, put him on TV. Either way it go though, snake bitten. Snake bitten. Seem like every time we hear Keith Lee is something. And it's not anything bad. It's not anything disrespectful. It's like, it's something going on. And just don't like that, man. I still got a lot of high hopes for Keith Lee. I'll always have that. If he healthy, put him on TV. If he ain't, let him go unless y'all keeping him from some insurance reasons. Last, and I can't wait for this one, Cap. Y'all care now? Do y'all care now? Y'all talked all that shit. Bring him back. Bring him back. He put some goddamn designs and shit all in his head. Cut off them goddamn dreads he got on his head. He said he was driving the bus. And look, he in a program with Aleister Black. And that is no disrespect to Aleister Black. Yeah, but y'all did all of that shit for him to be serious and put him in a program with Aleister Black. Y'all care now? Y'all care about this feud with Aleister Black? Do y'all? Tell.
Hey, and this was the point we were trying to make, 3 weeks ago now? Like, it's no different to me than, I'm going to use a music analogy. This is what I was telling everybody that was a little too happy that Kendrick Lamar won the battle and y'all was hoping Drake's career is over. I said, hey, but who gonna make the slaps for the hoes? Like, because that's not what Kendrick does. You still need summer songs. You still need something for the girls to make captions to. R-Truth, Ron Killings, whatever you want to call them, like, when this first happened and it was bring back truth, we want truth. Y'all was even on this platform talking about some man, he could go to TNA and be the champ. Or he can get a world title run. He should be in the main event. No. You only care because you know. It's literally like those facts that come up about like somebody will be like, oh, every time you drink a bottle of water, you increase your chances of cancer. And it's like, you're not gonna really stop drinking water though. Like you're not. Like you're not. That's not what's gonna happen. You're just gonna be like, well, damn, I just can't drink nothing, I guess. But the BAP level, the BPA level, I'm sorry, is not gonna make you stop drinking water. We're now in a situation where now they're putting Truth or Ron on TV to be enhancement talent. He didn't show up. He went in Saudi Arabia last night. He wouldn't. They put Penta out there in the match that he actually has something to do with. They put Penta out there. Y'all don't care, and it's okay. And this is why we got to be careful with our words and what we say when it comes to making a ruckus about wrestlers that we know we never gonna see in the main event at WrestleMania. Respectfully,
I'm gonna say this again, Camp. I'm an R-Truth fan. I was a fan before he was acting aloof. I was a fan while he was acting aloof. Y'all only wanted that man back because he was aloof. Now he's in a program with Aleister Black, and y'all don't care. Y'all don't. Y'all want him to go back to the old R-Truth where he was making you laugh. And he's telling you he don't want to be that R-Truth no more. Now he ain't making y'all laugh. He did a couple of run-ins on Cena. And now he in the program with Aleister Black because he was interrupting Aleister Black matches and got his head kicked in. And I can tell y'all right now, y'all ain't looking forward to no Aleister Black versus Ron Killings feud.
No.
Y'all ain't looking forward to that. You would rather R-Truth be the 24/7 champion and say some stupid shit. And that's why he shouldn't have never came back.
Yeah.
Y'all made y'all voice heard and all of that cool, yeah. But y'all made it loud because y'all lost the black man who was going to make y'all laugh. Simple as that. I'll see if y'all care about Aleister Black and R-Truth. But I know y'all don't. Because it didn't look like y'all cared on Friday. Y'all don't care. Y'all didn't care. And y'all don't care. And that's why I hate this situation.
They cared more about the Puerto Rican telling him to stop being angry than they cared about any of that. And shout out to Damian Priest. Damian Priest is... Hey, look. Matter of fact, shout out to Damian Priest because he's trying to help. He's trying to help.
Matter of fact, no, can't. Fuck that. Fuck that, fam. If y'all cared about R-Truth, y'all would have rather saw a program between Damian Priest and R-Truth and not Damian Priest and Y'all would have rather saw a program, if y'all cared about R-Truth, with him versus Damian Priest instead of R-Truth and Aleister Black. And that is no diss to Aleister Black, but he just getting back. And we just saw Damian Priest kick Drew McIntyre's head in. And he's a former world champion. If y'all really cared about R-Truth that much, why he ain't going up against Damian Priest? Why is Damian Priest trying to be the level-headed guy? And shouts out to Damian Priest if Damian Priest and Lola Vice is actually Freaky Undertaker.
You know what I'm saying?
Freaky Undertaker. If that's true, Freaky Undertaker.
Salute.
But y'all don't care about R-Truth. And Russ, you're right. Matter of fact, Russ, that is comment of the day. That is comment of the day. That is comment of the day enough that we might mess around and send your ass a 20% off code for first black champion. To be fair, Aleister Black is the only black that Saudi likes because them folks was looking at Jade like, who is this black woman? They don't give Bianca Belair love either.
Yeah.
They looked at Bobby Lashley like, yeah, you might.
I don't. Yeah, you know what? Tension is too high in America for me to say a lot of things I feel I should say. But that is definitely comment of the day. Comment of the show.
That's comment of the day, fam. That's comment of the day.
Oh,
so
man.
that is the Do We Care segment. Hey man, free R-Truth too. Free Keith Lee and free
Sure.
R-Truth. Because y'all out here lying. Y'all lying on y'all heart.
That's a fact though.
But man, great show. We on the road to SummerSlam, camp.
The road to SummerSlam.
Did SummerSlam have like a SummerSlam thing?
You know what? I was trying to think of it, and I think there was one, especially when it was 88 to 91. I can't think of it in my mind because now the old WrestleMania and the original Saturday Night's Main Event thing keep popping in my head. But there was a theme for SummerSlam. It absolutely was.
Like, wasn't that nah, that ain't it.
Nah, I don't know. We'll have to come back. I mean, hey, look, we're on the road to it, so we got time to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? we got time to figure it out on the road to SummerSlam.
Yeah,
you know, much like the road to WrestleMania. You know.
Yeah, we got to figure that out. But
Yeah,
hey, man, pass it on over to Camp.
Yes. So, man, you know what? I didn't give an official guarantee for this episode, but what I will say is this: my guarantee that the women's division is wide open now because of Liv Morgan being hurt on Raw, and so far, I think the person that struck the hardest has been Raquel. I'm interested to see what happens on Raw with the women with Liv being out because she occupied a big space. But man, we appreciate y'all for checking out this episode of the First Black Champ podcast. Man, we appreciate no matter when you got down, whether it's been since 2017.
Wait a minute,
came
Cam.
on for the first time this day.
That was the thing. I watch wrestling too goddamn much.
Really?
It's that yeah. That's I watch wrestling too goddamn much.
Hey man, awesome. Hey, well, look, we're gonna for the road, we gotta bring it back. You know what I'm saying? Probably for one of our segments next week, man, or to close out the show, man. But hey, again, like I was saying, man, we appreciate y'all checking out this show. No matter when you got here, man, we sincerely and appreciate you. Obviously, Bang and I can do the show by ourselves, but each and every one of you, whether it's the stream here every Sunday or throughout the group pages with your likes, comments, shares, rumor, innuendo questions, or just funny things, sayings, and your opinions about wrestling, you make the FBC community what it is. And for that, we sincerely and humbly thank you. And always know that if you ever want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, that you do so by checking out the First Black Champ podcast. It's the pick with the VP, DOC, and we are out. Fuck Johnny Wrestling.
And free Keith Lee.